the coronavirus emergency. This morning, the number of cases worldwide is topping 93,000. Meanwhile, here in the U.S., there are now at least 108 cases, and the death toll has climbed to 9 people.
The situation in Wuhan is awful.
New alarm bells ringing tonight on the coronavirus outbreak in this country as the number of dead rises. More confirmed cases tonight in New York and Los Angeles, where an airport worker on the front lines of stopping the virus's spread has been infected.
Third of the whole city, Wuhan. So I can't see my friends and my grandparents in person.
And region by region, there are now well over 200 confirmed cases in this country, but remember, only 1,500 people have been tested.
Malaysia has confirmed its first locally transmitted case of the novel coronavirus.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and salam UiTM di hatiku. My name is Amirul Hakim bin Mahmood. My ID number is 2018298358. Today, I want to present my research proposal, which is the effect of COVID-19 pandemic on physical activity participation among sports students in UiTM Seremban 3. So we go to the first slide, which is the background of study. The impact of dangerous pandemic to human life is not a new chapter in human history. However, the silent enemy COVID-19 pandemic crept from Wuhan city, Hubei, province China at an exponential rate that commit the rhythm of the world. Crisis that started in China has become a global crisis that gripped many nations in terms of health and economy. Physical activity is defined as any bodily movement produced by skeletal muscle that require energy expenditure. The impact of physical inactivity may very likely be seen in many areas such as health and social care and the mental well-being of people across the globe. Even it is only a short break from sitting at your desk and doing some walking or stretching, doing something as simple as this will ease muscle strain, relieve mental tension, improve blood circulation, improve muscle activity, and create some routine to your day in these unprecedented times. Doing my research, I facing several problems. So in this slide, I will explain the statement of problem. Which is the silent enemy COVID-19 outbreak has affected the life of many and had also impact sports students in UiTM Seremban 3 physical activity. This has had a negative impact on all parties. Among those affected are sport organization, especially students or athletes who are training or studying on campus respectively. Recently, the Malaysian government has all school institutions of higher learning to be temporarily closed. This step had to be done by the Malaysian government to break the COVID chain. So in this sport news, you can see the Boxing Day football affected by COVID-19 postponed. Rotherham versus Middlesbrough on Boxing Day postponed due to further positive COVID-19 tests. Postponed come after Miller Games against Derby was called off last Saturday. So as you can see, the pandemic getting serious day by day. Sport activities actually cannot be done. This will give a negative impact to our daily life. So in this slide, they have a research objective. They have 3 research objectives. Number 1 is to investigate the relationship, the impact of COVID-19 between participation sports student in UiTM Seremban. Number 2 is to identify the participation of sport student during COVID-19. And number 3 is to measure the COVID-19 effect to physical activities of sports student in UiTM Seremban. So in this slide, they have significant of study. Number 1 is to provide useful knowledge by practice physical activities at any time and anywhere. Number 2 is This research will educate the generation affected by COVID pandemic to be more sensitive and take seriously the importance of physical activity to human daily life. Finally, it is important to do physical activities during the COVID-19 pandemic to ensure awareness to our generation about benefits that they can get. This is a literature review. As we know, COVID-19 is a silent and invisible killer virus, was first declared by the World Health Organization in January 2020, WHO. The impact of this silent enemy, also known as the novel coronavirus or COVID-19, has undeniably caused a remarkable shift to every person, norms and routines. And physical activities, as we know, defined as any bodily movement produced by skeletal muscle that require energy expenditure. In this research, I used two methods in the research design, which is descriptive research, and number two is correlational research. So I'll use a sample size and sampling technique. The sampling for this research aiming for a random sampling targeting sport and recreation student FSR in UiTM Seremban with population 120 students to complete the study. According to table Kinsey and Morgan 1970, the sample would 92 and sample need to add 20% to avoid biases and error. This research for 110 respondents of sport recreation students in UiTM Seremban 3. Instrumentation divided to two sections, which is section A is demographic profile, consists question of age, gender, races, education level and monthly income. For the section B is effect of COVID-19 pandemic and the factor of COVID-19 pandemic affect sport student in UiTM Seremban 3. So as we know, instrumentation refer to the instrument or mean by which investigators in the data collection process aim to quantify factor or object of interest. Neil J. Selkin 2010. In the current study, there were two types of variable observed, which were independent and dependent variable. A structured questionnaire consists of two sections was prepared for use in the field of survey and collecting data. The data for this study will be collected through a set of questionnaire consisting of two sections, which is section measuring each of the variables that are relevant to the purpose of the study. This is my data collection procedure. There's 5 steps. Number 1 is ethical approval from Faculty of Sports Science Recreation FSR. They have to get a approval from the supervisor about the research that I want to identify. And number 2 is ask permission to do the research from sports student in UiTM Seremban. I will get the permission to distribute the questionnaire toward their members. Number 3 is distribute the questionnaire to the sport student in UiTM Seremban. I will distribute to all sport students. Number 4 is explain to the respondents. Give an explanation toward the respondent about the questionnaire to ensure their understanding about the question. And lastly, number 5 is collect the data, collect the questionnaire from the respondent that complete the question given. So my data analysis, I will use as we can see the research design. They have 3, and statistical analysis they have 2. For the research design, number 1 is to investigate the relationship, the impact of COVID-19 between participation sport student in UiTM Seremban 3, and the statistical analysis I will use permanent correlation. Number 2, to identify the participation of sport student during COVID-19, I will use a descriptive analysis, and to measure the COVID-19 effect to physical activity of sport student in UiTM Seremban, I will use descriptive analysis. Okay, that's all for me. Thank you for give your attention. See my presentation video. That's all for me. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. And salam UiTM di hatiku.